Welcome to English Podcast for Beginners. I'm James.
And I'm Emma. James, I have a question for you. Do you ever meet someone new and they ask about your hobbies?
Yes, all the time. It happens at parties, at work, even online.
Exactly. And many English learners tell us the same thing. They say, Emma, I know my hobby. I love my hobby, but I don't know how to talk about it in English.
That's a real problem. You want to share your interests, you want to connect with people, but the words don't come out right.
If you ever feel nervous when someone asks, what do you do for fun? You are not alone. Millions of learners face this every day.
But here's the good news. Today, we solve this problem together. In just 30 minutes, you learn how to describe your hobby with confidence.
And it's easier than you think. You don't need complicated grammar. You don't need big vocabulary. You just need simple, clear phrases.
Let me tell you what you learned today. 3 things. First, you learned the basic words to name your hobby.
Second, you learn simple sentences to explain what you do.
And third, you learn how to say why you love your hobby. These 3 skills change everything.
I remember when I start learning Spanish, someone asks me, what do you like to do? I freeze. I know I love gardening, but I can't say it. I feel embarrassed.
That's exactly why we create this episode. We want you to feel ready, not embarrassed. We want you to enjoy these conversations.
And the best part? You can use this skill everywhere, at job interviews, at social events, in online communities. Talking about hobbies helps you make real connections.
So here's how today works. We cover this in 4 simple parts. First, we teach you basic hobby words. Then, we practice action sentences. Next, we talk about feelings and reasons. Finally, we put it all together.
Each part builds on the last one. By the end, you describe your hobby like a pro.
Now, before we dive in, let me give you one phrase you can use right now. Ready?
Yes, this is your first win today.
The phrase is, my hobby is. That's it. My hobby is. Then you add your hobby. For example, my hobby is reading.
Or, my hobby is cooking. Simple, right?
Let's hear a few more examples. Listen carefully. My hobby is painting.
My hobby is running.
My hobby is playing video games.
Did you notice? We just say, my hobby is, and then the activity. No complicated words, no difficult grammar.
Think about your hobby right now. Can you picture yourself saying, my hobby is, and then your activity? Just imagine it in your mind. No need to say it out loud.
That one phrase already opens the door to so many conversations.
And here's something amazing. Over 80% of our students say that learning to talk about hobbies makes their English practice more fun. Why? Because you talk about things you love.
When you talk about your passion, you naturally want to communicate. You feel motivated. That's the secret to better English.
So you might be wondering, what comes next? In part 1, we dive deeper into hobby vocabulary. You learn words for different types of hobbies: sports, arts, indoor, outdoor. You learn how to choose the right word for your interest.
And we show you real examples from everyday conversations. You hear how native speakers describe their hobbies in simple, natural ways.
Are you excited? Because we are. This is one of our favorite topics to teach.
Let's do this. Get comfortable, stay with us, and let's learn together.
Part 1 starts right now. Welcome to Part 1. Today, we start with the basics. How do you name your hobby in English? Let me break this down for you.
This is so important, James. When you know the right words, you feel confident. You feel ready to talk.
Exactly. So let's look at hobby vocabulary. We have many types of hobbies. Some hobbies are sports. Some hobbies are arts. Some hobbies are indoor. Some hobbies are outdoor.
And the good news? Most hobby words are simple. You probably know many of them already. Let me tell you why this matters in daily life.
Please do.
When you meet new people, they often ask, "What do you do in your free time?" Or, "What are your hobbies?" This question comes up all the time, at coffee shops, at parties, at school, at work.
Right. And when you answer clearly, people understand you. You start a real conversation. You make connections.
Exactly. So knowing these basic words helps you in so many situations. You're not just learning vocabulary, you're learning how to connect with people.
Let me demonstrate with some examples. Listen to these short conversations. Ready?
Yes, let's hear them.
Example 1. Person A says, "What do you do for fun?" Person B says, "I like reading. My hobby is reading books."
Nice and simple.
Example 2. Person A says, "Do you have any hobbies?" Person B says, "Yes, I enjoy cooking. I cook every weekend."
I love that one.
Example 3. Person A asks, "What are you interested in?" Person B says, "I'm interested in photography. I take photos of nature."
Did you hear that? 3 different conversations, but all very clear. They use simple words like reading, cooking, and photography.
Now, let me give you some real-world variations. You can say, "My hobby is cooking," or you can say, "I enjoy cooking," or "I like to cook." All 3 work.
That's right. And here's a common mistake many learners make. They say, "My hobby is cook." No, don't say, "My hobby is cook."
Good catch, Emma. The rule is simple. After "my hobby is," we use the ing form. So we say, "My hobby is cooking," not "My hobby is cook."
Or, "My hobby is reading," not "My hobby is read."
Perfect. Now let's practice together. I give you some examples and you just listen. Notice how we use these words. Think about which hobby sounds like yours.
Ready? Listen carefully. My hobby is painting.
I enjoy swimming.
I like playing tennis.
My hobby is gardening.
I love dancing.
Did you notice the pattern? We use ing forms. Painting, swimming, playing, gardening, dancing.
Now, think about your hobby. Imagine you say the sentence in your mind. My hobby is, and then your activity with ing. Just think about it. You don't need to say it out loud.
That's great practice right there. You're learning by listening and thinking. That's enough. You're doing well.
Let me give you a few more examples, slightly different. Listen. I'm really into music. I play the guitar.
I spend my free time hiking. I love nature.
I'm a big fan of video games. I play games every evening.
These examples are a bit longer, but still simple. Notice how people add small details. I play the guitar. I love nature. I play games every evening.
Those little details make your description more interesting, but you start with the main idea first.
Exactly. And remember, don't worry about being perfect. Even if you just say, "My hobby is reading," that's great. You communicate your idea clearly.
You've got this. Now let's see how you use this in real life.
Imagine this scenario. You are at a friend's party. Someone new walks up to you and says, "Hi, I'm Mike. What do you like to do in your free time?"
This is the perfect moment. You can say, "Hi, Mike. My hobby is," and then name your hobby. For example, "My hobby is drawing," or "I enjoy playing basketball."
Simple, right? You use what we just practiced.
And here's the best part. After you share your hobby, Mike can ask more questions. The conversation grows naturally. You make a new friend.
So here's your key takeaway from part 1. You learn how to name your hobby using simple ing forms. You learn phrases like, my hobby is, and I enjoy.
And you learn to avoid the mistake, my hobby is cook. Instead, you say, my hobby is cooking.
You already have the tools to start hobby conversations. Believe in yourself. You're making real progress.
In part 2, we take this further. We learn how to describe exactly what you do in your hobby. That's coming up next.
Great work. You just learned how to say, my hobby is cooking, or my hobby is reading. That one phrase opens so many doors.
And wow, we build on that. Because here's the thing. When someone hears your hobby, they want to know more. They ask, oh really? What do you do exactly?
So how do you answer that question? How do you describe your actions in detail? That's what part 2 is all about.
Are you ready to sound even more confident? Let's keep going. Part 2 starts now.
Welcome to part 2. Now we take your hobby description to the next level. We learn how to explain what you actually do.
This is where your description gets interesting. You don't just say, my hobby is cooking. You add details. You say what you cook, when you cook, how you cook.
Let me introduce the concept. When you describe actions in your hobby, you use simple action verbs. These are words like play, make, watch, read, practice, visit.
And here's what I love about this. When you share these details, people see your passion. They understand your hobby better. The conversation becomes fun.
Think about it. If someone says, my hobby is painting, that's good. But if they say, my hobby is painting, I paint flowers and trees. I paint every Sunday morning. Now that's a real description.
Exactly. You give people a clear picture. They can imagine you painting on Sunday morning. That's powerful.
So let's demonstrate with examples. Listen to these conversations. Notice the action verbs.
Example 1. Person A asks, what do you do in your free time? Person B says, I play soccer. I practice every Tuesday and Thursday. I play with my friends at the park.
Great example. The action verbs are play and practice.
Example 2. Person A asks, tell me about your hobbies. Person B says, I love gardening. I grow vegetables in my backyard. I water the plants every morning.
Perfect. The action verbs are love, grow, and water.
One more. Example 3. Person A says, what are you interested in? Person B says, I enjoy reading. I read mystery books. I read before bed every night.
The action verbs here are enjoy and read.
Did you notice something? All these verbs are simple, no complicated grammar, just basic present tense. I play, I grow, I read.
Now, let me show you some variations. You can describe where you do your hobby. For example, I swim at the community pool.
Or you can describe when. I paint on weekends.
Or you can describe who you do it with. I play tennis with my brother.
All of these add color to your description.
Now, here's a common mistake. Many learners forget the S on verbs when they talk about other people. For example, they say, she play guitar. No, don't say she play guitar.
Right. The correct way is she plays guitar. When you talk about he, she, or it, you add S to the verb.
So, I play guitar, but she plays guitar. I read books, but he reads books.
Got it? Let's practice now. I give you some examples. You listen and notice the action verbs. Think about how you describe your hobby.
Ready? Here we go. I collect stamps. I look for rare stamps at markets.
I bake cakes. I try new recipes every weekend.
I watch documentaries. I learn about nature and science.
I ride my bike. I ride in the park early in the morning.
Did you hear those action verbs? Collect, look for, bake, try, watch, learn, ride.
Now think about your hobby. What actions do you do? Imagine the sentences in your mind. For example, if your hobby is cooking, maybe you think, I cook pasta or I make soup.
That's perfect. You're practicing in your head. That's exactly what we want you to do.
Let me give you a few more examples with more details. Listen carefully. I enjoy photography. I take photos of buildings and streets. I walk around the city on Saturdays.
I like fishing. I go to the lake. I sit by the water for hours. I relax and enjoy the quiet.
I love yoga. I practice at home. I follow videos on my phone. I do yoga 3 times a week.
These descriptions paint a clear picture, right? You can imagine the person doing these activities.
And notice, these sentences are still simple. No difficult words, just clear actions. I play, I grow, I read.
Remember, you don't need to say everything. Just pick 2 or 3 important actions. That's enough to give people a good understanding.
You're doing great. Now let's see how you use this in a real conversation.
Imagine this. You are at a cafe. You meet a new colleague from work. She asks, "So, what do you like to do outside of work?"
This is your chance. You answer with your hobby and your actions. For example, I like running. I run in the park near my house. I usually run in the morning.
Or maybe, I enjoy drawing. I draw people and animals. I practice every evening after dinner.
Simple, clear, and interesting. The other person learns about you. They might share their hobby too.
The key takeaway from part 2 is this. Use simple action verbs to describe what you do in your hobby. Add small details like when, where, or who.
And remember the mistake we talked about. Say, I play guitar for yourself, but she plays guitar for other people. Don't forget that S.
You're building real conversation skills now.
Keep this confidence with you.
Next, in part 3, we learn how to express why you love your hobby. This is where your passion really shines. Stay with us.
Fantastic! You now know how to say, I play soccer and I practice every Tuesday. You describe your actions with confidence.
And this is where it gets really exciting. Because when you tell people what you do, they usually ask, why do you like it so much?
That's the golden question. When you answer it well, people connect with you on a deeper level. They understand your passion.
So, how do you express your feelings about your hobby in simple English? Let's find out together. Part 3 starts now. Welcome to Part 3. This is the part where you share your heart. You explain why your hobby matters to you.
This is my favorite part. Because when you explain why you love something, your voice changes. You sound more passionate, more real, more you.
Absolutely. Let me introduce this concept. When you talk about why you love your hobby, you use feeling words and reason phrases. Words like happy, relaxed, excited, calm.
And phrases like, it makes me feel, I enjoy it because, it helps me, and I love it because.
These phrases are so powerful. They help you connect with people. Think about it. When someone shares why they love something, you understand them better, right?
Yes, and here's what happens in real life. When you say, I play guitar because it makes me happy, people smile. They relate to that feeling. You create a real human connection.
Exactly. So let's demonstrate with examples. Listen to these conversations. Notice the feeling words and reason phrases.
Example 1. Person A asks, why do you like painting? Person B says, I like painting because it relaxes me. It makes me feel calm and peaceful.
Beautiful example. The feeling words are relax, calm, and peaceful. The phrase is, it makes me feel.
Example 2. Person A asks, "What do you enjoy about cooking?" Person B says, "I enjoy cooking because I create something delicious. It makes me proud when my family enjoys the food."
Great. The feeling words are enjoy, delicious, and proud.
Example 3. Person A says, "Tell me why you love running." Person B says, "I love running because it clears my mind. I feel free and strong when I run."
Perfect. Clear my mind, free, and strong. These are powerful feeling words.
Did you notice? All these answers are personal and honest. They come from the heart.
Now let me show you some more variations. You can talk about benefits. Reading helps me learn new things.
Or you can talk about emotions. Dancing makes me feel joyful.
Or you can talk about problems your hobby solves. Gardening helps me forget about stress.
All of these work beautifully.
Here's a common mistake. Some learners say, it make me happy without the S. No, don't say, it make me happy.
Right. The correct way is, "It makes me happy." Remember, after it, we add S to the verb. It makes, not it make.
So you say, it makes me relaxed. It helps me think. It gives me energy.
Let's practice now. Listen to these examples, notice the feeling words, think about why you love your hobby.
Here we go. I enjoy fishing because it gives me peace. I sit by the water and forget about my problems.
I love photography because it helps me see beauty everywhere. I notice small details I usually miss.
I like yoga because it makes me strong and flexible. I feel better in my body.
I enjoy baking because it makes my home smell wonderful. I feel happy when I share cookies with friends.
Did you hear those reasons? It gives me peace. It helps me see beauty. It makes me strong.
Now, think about your hobby. Why do you love it? Imagine the answer in your mind. Maybe you think, "It makes me relaxed," or "I enjoy it because it's fun."
Yes, just think about it. You don't need to say it out loud. You're building the skill by listening and thinking.
Let me give you some longer examples now. These combine what you do and why you love it. Listen, I play the piano every evening. I love it because music expresses my emotions. When I feel sad or happy, I play. It helps me understand my feelings.
I collect old coins. I enjoy it because every coin tells a story. I learn about history and different countries. It makes me curious about the world.
I practice martial arts 3 times a week. I love it because it teaches me discipline and respect. I feel confident and focused in my daily life too.
These examples are longer and more complex, but they still use simple words and simple grammar.
And notice how the why part makes the description so much more interesting. You really understand why these people love their hobbies.
Remember, you don't need a long answer. Even a short reason is perfect. I like it because it's fun. That's completely fine.
You're doing amazing. Now let's apply this in a real scenario.
Imagine you are at a community event. A friendly person asks, "So, what do you do for fun? And why do you enjoy it?"
This is a great opportunity. You combined everything you learn. For example, I love gardening. I grow tomatoes and flowers. I enjoy it because it connects me to nature. It makes me peaceful and happy.
Or maybe, I play basketball with my friends. I love it because it keeps me active and healthy. Plus, it's fun. I always laugh when we play.
Perfect answers. You name the hobby, describe what you do, and explain why you love it.
Complete and natural. The key takeaway from part 3 is this. Use feeling words and reason phrases to explain why you love your hobby. Phrases like, it makes me feel, and I enjoy it because are your best friends.
And remember, don't say, it make me happy. Say, it makes me happy with the S. That small detail matters.
You're building such valuable skills. When you talk about your feelings, you speak from the heart. That's authentic English.
In part 4, we put everything together. You hear complete hobby descriptions that combine all 3 parts. This is where it all clicks. Ready?
You're doing incredible. You just learned how to say, it makes me feel happy, and I enjoy it because. You express your feelings with confidence.
Now comes the best part. You have all 3 skills: naming your hobby, describing your actions, and explaining your feelings. But how do you put them together in one smooth conversation?
That's exactly what we show you in part 4. You hear complete, natural descriptions from start to finish. You practice listening to real conversations. This is where everything comes together.
Are you excited? You should be. This is your moment. Let's dive into part 4.
Welcome to part 4, our final section. This is where we bring it all together. You learn how to create complete, natural descriptions of your hobby.
This is so exciting. You already know all the pieces: the name, the actions, the feelings. Now we show you how to combine them into one beautiful conversation.
Let me explain the concept. A complete hobby description has 3 parts. First, you name your hobby. Second, you describe what you do. Third, you explain why you love it.
And when you put these 3 parts together, magic happens. You sound confident, natural, and interesting. People want to listen to you.
Think about it. When you meet someone and they ask about your hobbies, you have about 30 seconds to 1 minute to share. That's the perfect amount of time for a complete description.
And here's what I notice in real life. People who describe their hobbies well always get positive responses. Others ask questions. They want to know more. The conversation flows naturally.
So let's demonstrate with full examples. Listen carefully to these complete descriptions. Notice how all 3 parts work together.
Example 1. Person A asks, what do you like to do in your free time? Person B says, I really enjoy painting. I paint landscapes and nature scenes. I usually paint on weekends in my home studio. I love it because it helps me express my feelings. When I paint, I feel calm and creative. It's my favorite way to relax.
Perfect. Did you hear all 3 parts? First, I enjoy painting. Second, what they paint and when. Third, why they love it. It helps express feelings and makes them calm.
Example 2. Person A says, tell me about your hobbies. Person B says, my hobby is playing soccer. I play every Tuesday and Thursday with my local team. We practice at the community field. I love it because it keeps me fit and healthy. Plus, I make great friends through soccer. It makes me feel energized and happy.
Excellent. 3 parts again. The hobby, the details of what and when, and the reasons: fitness, friends, and feeling energized.
One more. Example 3. Person A asks, what are you passionate about? I'm really into cooking. I try new recipes every weekend. I cook Asian food and Italian food mostly. I enjoy it because I create something delicious for my family. It makes me proud when they love the food. Plus, cooking helps me relax after a busy week.
Beautiful. The hobby is cooking, the details are what and when, and the reasons are creating for family, feeling proud, and relaxing.
Did you notice how smooth these descriptions sound? They flow naturally from one part to the next.
Now, let me show you how to connect the parts. You can use words like and, plus, also, and because.
For example, I play tennis every weekend and I love it because it challenges me.
Or, I enjoy reading mystery books. I read before bed. It helps me relax and forget about stress.
Or, my hobby is gardening. I grow vegetables and flowers in my backyard. I love it because it connects me to nature. Plus, I eat fresh vegetables from my own garden.
These connecting words make your description smooth and easy to follow.
Here's what I notice in real life. Some people describe only one part. They say, my hobby is cooking, and then stop. Don't do that. Add the other parts too.
Right. Or some people talk too much about technical details and forget to mention why they love it. Remember, people connect with feelings, not just facts.
The balance is important. Name it, describe it, explain why you love it. All three parts.
Let's practice now. I give you several complete descriptions. Listen and notice how the three parts fit together. Think about how you can describe your own hobby this way.
Ready? Listen. I love swimming. I swim at the pool near my house 3 times a week. I usually swim in the morning before work. I enjoy it because it wakes me up and gives me energy for the day. It also keeps me strong and healthy. Swimming is my favorite way to start the day.
My hobby is learning languages. I study Spanish and French online. I practice every evening for 30 minutes. I love it because it opens my mind to new cultures. When I learn a new word, I feel accomplished. Plus, I can communicate with more people around the world.
I'm really into hiking. I hike in the mountains near my city every weekend. Sometimes I go with friends, sometimes alone. I love it because nature makes me feel peaceful. When I reach the top of a mountain, I feel proud and strong. Hiking clears my mind and helps me think.
Perfect! These descriptions are longer and include more details, but they still use simple words and simple grammar.
Now, imagine your hobby in your mind. Think about the 3 parts. What is it? What do you do? Why do you love it? Just picture it. You don't need to say it out loud.
Perfect! You're practicing in your head. That's wonderful.
Let me show you one more technique. You can add questions to keep the conversation going. After you describe your hobby, you can ask, how about you? What do you like to do?
Or you can find common ground. If the other person mentions sports, you can say, oh, I also like sports. I play basketball.
These little additions make the conversation interactive and friendly.
Now let's apply this in a realistic scenario. Imagine you are at a job interview. The interviewer wants to know about you as a person. She asks, what do you enjoy doing outside of work?
This is your moment. You give a complete description. For example, I enjoy reading. I read books about history and science. I usually read in the evening at home. I love it because it helps me learn new things and expand my knowledge. It also relaxes me after a busy day. Reading makes me feel curious and inspired.
Perfect. Answer: professional, clear, and personal. The interviewer learns about you and sees your personality.
Or, imagine you're at a social gathering. Someone asks, so what are your interests? You say, I'm really into photography. I take photos of street scenes and people. I usually go out on Saturday mornings with my camera. I love it because it helps me notice beauty in everyday life. Every photo tells a story. Photography makes me see the world differently.
Excellent. You sound interesting and passionate. The other person wants to keep talking to you.
Here's your key takeaway from part 4. Combine all 3 parts. Name your hobby, describe what you do, and explain why you love it.
And when you use connecting words like and, because, and plus to make it flow smoothly.
And remember, don't just name your hobby and stop. Add the details and the feelings. That's what makes your description complete and interesting.
You did it. You now have the full skill to describe your hobby in English. You can use this in any conversation, any situation, anytime.
Believe in yourself. You have the words, you have the structure, and you have the confidence. You're ready to share your passion with the world.
Let's wrap up with some final thoughts and encouragement in our goodbye section. What an amazing journey today! Let's celebrate what you learned.
You now know how to describe your hobby in 3 clear parts. You can name it, my hobby is reading. You can describe your actions, I read mystery books every evening. And you can explain your feelings, it makes me feel relaxed and happy.
That's a powerful skill. And here's the beautiful truth. You can use this today, right now. The next time someone asks about your hobbies, you're ready.
Think about it. At work, at parties, at coffee shops, online, whenever someone asks, what do you like to do? You have the confidence to answer clearly and naturally.
You're not just learning English, you're building real connections with people. You're sharing your passion. That's beautiful.
And remember, you don't need to be perfect. Even if you just say, my hobby is cooking. I cook pasta. It makes me happy. That's wonderful. You communicate your idea clearly.
Start simple. Practice in your mind. Then, when the moment comes, speak with confidence. You've got this.
Now, if you enjoy this episode, we have a special request. Please subscribe to our channel. Why? Because we create new episodes every week to help you improve your English. When you subscribe, you never miss a lesson.
Plus, subscribing helps us reach more learners like you. Together, we build a community of people who love learning English.
In our next episode, we teach you how to talk about your daily routine in English. You learn simple phrases to describe your morning, afternoon, and evening activities. It's practical, useful, and perfect for everyday conversations.
We can't wait to see you in the next episode.
Good work today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe to the channel and keep practicing your English every day.
See you next time.
Bye for now.